It is the 27th of the 7th, 2011. This is today's climate change update. Let me adjust the camera set. My cat's in heat. Scott.net, Earth changes. Germany, noctilucent clouds. The morning of July 26 was electric blue. Said this guy from Germany, I woke up at 3 o'clock and looked out of my bedroom window to the north and saw a stunning display, and they've got pictures. Moments later, he dashed outside with his camera. And I think I'll post this up on my channel. It's a pretty cool picture. And again, we're going with these noctilucent clouds. There's a lot of electrical energy going on in the poles. There's a lot of things going on, not just with the rain and the snow. Earth's tallest lightning seen in unprecedented detail. Mysterious and gigantic jets of lightning that shoot up near the edge of space have now been observed in unprecedented detail, revealing just how much charge they pack and how they form. Very interesting read. Australia, kangaroo attacks 94-year-old woman and her dog wouldn't even help her. Rare heavy snow snarls South African transport. Johannesburg, an unusually heavy snowfall that blanketed large parts of South Africa snarled at transport on Tuesday, halting trains and leaving thousands of motorists stranded after highways closed. The winter storm also brought high winds that played havoc with shipping and delayed air transport. Obviously, they're not used to these kind of storms. And the military dispatched a helicopter to pluck crew members from a cargo ship that ran aground on the east coast. That's a pretty crazy storm. Found some new frogs in Australia. Pretty cool. Where they previously thought nothing was there. Here's a fish kill. U.S. thousands of fish turned up dead in Indiana Lake. Seymour, Indiana. Imagine thousands of fish literally turning up dead in a lake near your home. That's just what happened at a lake in Seymour, Indiana. So our viewers called us asking us to get answers. Heavy snowfall in central Chile. Now again, the southern hemisphere is having an extreme winter due to volcanic activity, and they've actually got some NASA photos on this as well as far as the extensive snowfall. And what the Interior Minister described as white earthquake. Heavy snow blanketed parts of Chile in July 2011. The snow was 2.3 meters or 7.5 feet deep. In the city of Lonquimay, CNN reported. Santiago Times reported that some areas received 4 months worth of snowfall in just 4 days. And again, here's this extreme winter going on in the southern hemisphere. And we're having extreme heat, they're having extreme cold, and just an ongoing situation. It's weird everywhere. It's not just where you're at. U.S. warmer climate could spark more severe Yellowstone fires. Large fires in Yellowstone National Park could dramatically increase by mid-century due to climate change, would create a very difficult park that once people know today, a new study suggests. And of course, you need to pay your carbon tax, and this is all your fault. It has nothing to do with changes in the solar system and our sun. More aftershocks hit Japan as radiation is picked up in Glasgow and Scotland. Okay, I read this story yesterday. Over to the extinction protocol. Turkish cancer villages warn of epidemic to come along North Dakota, along their roads. Well, check it out if you're in the North Dakota area. In Dunn County, North Dakota, the roads are paved with a unique danger. Over 300 miles of them are covered with gravel taken from the local North Killdeer Mountains. This rock is rich in a mineral called Eronite, E-R-I-O-N-I-T-E, that behaves not unlike asbestos. Both cause cancer, but according to animal studies, Eronite is anywhere from 200 to 800 times more effective than its more famous counterpart. The Dunn County's Ironite gravel release small brittle fibers into the air when lightly disturbed. They release by wheels driving overhead, the footfalls of pedestrians, or even the gentle scrapes of brooms and rakes. Once airborne, the fibers can find their way into lungs of passers-by by accumulating in the surrounding cavity. The story continues, and if you're in the North Dakota, Dunn County area, I highly recommend you read this story, or anywhere downwind. Bad weather blamed for crash in Morocco, killing 78. They lost a military cargo plane, 60 military, 12 civilians, and 9 crew members lost their life in a storm. I wonder who was on that flight list. We got a 5.9 earthquake in the Gulf of California, and now it's the latest in the string of rattling, these earthquakes rattling the Pacific Ring of Fire plate. And again, they go into, how shaky it's been here lately, but it seems like summertime. It's here in the northern hemisphere. It seems to pick up in the summertime. And earthquake swarm continues in the Canary Islands. The Canary Island government has said it is monitoring an earthquake swarm on the small island of El Hierro, where in excess of 620 tremors of low magnitude have been reported in the past week. Now, this is a volcanic area, and they're noting that this might be an increase in volcanic activity. I attached a link on yesterday's update. I'll put it on this one, of an actual special of the Canary Islands and the tsunami threat to the east coast of the United States if this were to have a major slide, and definitely something to pay attention to. I got some protesters blocking roads in Israel, and Moody warns private investors Greece will likely default despite assistance. All according to plan. 9 killed and thousands flee as storm pummels the Philippines. And we have another typhoon hitting the Philippines. And all the madness that goes on. And they're just in their typhoon season. And it's another day in, wow. North Korea food shortage worse in years despite farms. It's unlikely. It's an unlikely sight. Hundreds of ostriches, blah blah blah. But they're going on how they've increased like the ostrich farms are bringing in these different things to try to help feed their people because they're always having these food problems in North Korea, and all the flood damage and weather damage that their crops received this year. They're really going to have a hard time and a hard winter in North Korea. And South Korea's been having its share of crop failure as well. Over to the RSOE. We have a huge landslide in South Korea due to torrential rain. Now this was just east of Seoul, and it's a pretty crazy story. They're saying they heard it sound like a freight train rolling downhill, and the back flood got so bad it was turning the subways into flood. I mean, literally flooding out the subways and causing all kinds of madness in that area. Forest fires in Russia. Flash flooding in Pakistan, and I guess it's pretty severe. They're saying up to 500,000 people affected, or was it 5 million? And again, last summer they had all this flooding, and fires in Russia. So here we go again. Snowstorm in South Africa. And snowstorm in New Zealand. I guess New Zealand got hit with a big whammy of a storm too. Trapped over 250 skiers, and all kinds of madness because it all just kind of came at once. They're saying it came late, but when it arrived, it really did. And I'd like to give a salute to Dutch Sense. He made the RSOE. They're an unusual geological event, and Pisgah Crater in the Mojave Desert in California. Now, Dutch put out some videos of where he was actually seeing some steam outgassing on the radar, and it was coming from this area. And the USGS actually put in and said Dutch was misinformed, and this isn't what's really going on. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along, move along. kudos to you, Dutch. Way to get them. And time will tell in the end if Dutch is right or not. But this is a very active area. And after watching his videos, I can see that it's in the lava flow area. So who's to say what's really going on down there unless we get somebody down there ourselves. And finally, over on the watchers tonight, I wanted to report on Mexico City is sinking. More gigantic earth cracks in the Valley of Mexico. These huge fissures are opening up in the Valley of Mexico, because you got to remember most of Mexico City's in a dry lake bed, just under a volcano, and the earth cracks have just gone mad down there, so you need to look into that. Severe drought causes famine in East Africa, and of course they've been playing this up in Kenya and Somalia, and East Africa is having a hell of a time feeding their people still. And moisture surge to ramp up U.S. southwest monsoon. More haboobs are possible, so folks in Arizona and the southwest, get prepared for more dust storms this monsoon season, more than you're used to. And heavy rain causes waterlog in interiors, interferes with traffic in central China, and I believe this is a remnants of a typhoon. Yeah, they're evacuating thousands of people, and you know, disruptions to the roads and the travel and industry and all of that. And typhoon hits the Philippines. And that's about all I have for you tonight. Of course, if I missed anything, please attach your comments or your videos below. Enjoy while you can, and I'll see you next time.